Hey, I did lose a couple of pounds. That's so sweet of you to notice that. Angelina Jordan, you don't own me. Well, you don't. You don't own me. But like I had to tell you that. My leg itching, so I'm scratching it. Let's go. She got the isolation booth. That's the first time I've seen that in one of these. Oh, that means we're filming 90 degrees. Got you. With the pop filter. Ayo. Well, it's a song in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Is it? Did I hear that right already?
You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys.
Oh, that chord changed to major. Is this the first song I heard her do in 6/8? Definitely at this tempo.
And don't tell me what
It's this song?
and don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me on display. You don't own me.
There's something with the effect I want to bring it up now. We can wait. We got a minute.
Don't try to change me anyway. You don't own me. Don't turn it down, cause I never stay.
That chord change to major is excellent every time it happens.
Turn it down, cause I never stay. Don't tell you what to say, and don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you. You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me.
Bro.
Don't say I can't go with other boys.
Is that skipping her video? Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay. Good news and bad news. Good news. And maybe kind of good news and then bad news. One, love the song. I didn't know that that's the name of that song. That song is awesome. Love the key changes between major and minor. Very stark and awesome. Which I guess, now I'm gonna have to think about it. The key changes probably reflect the emotion of the song. So the minor is describing the experience of how we got here. And then the major is, don't tell me what, like taking control of your life. So that's why I think it's a major. I mean, whatever, that's 10-second analysis. The kind of good. The kind of good. You can't get better without experimenting. You just can't. You just can't. If you're doing great all the time and you keep exactly the same, then you're gonna fall behind because other people will be experimenting and growing. That effect that's going on, and I'm not sure if it's a reverb or a delay. I'm thinking it's a reverb. The reason why it's hard to pick between a delay and a reverb and say a chorus is depending on how you set those three effects, they all can have very similar sounds. It's kind of like what they do at the extremes. Or at the extremes. At the extremes, they're very unique, but at certain settings, they all sound the same. There's something I don't like about it. And until about a year ago, I didn't know why. I was watching a masterclass on YouTube. Wish I could shout out the guy's name. I don't remember. I was watching a masterclass on mixing. And what he said, which once he said it made a lot of sense, but I had not heard anyone say it until that point, is that when you add some of these reverb effects, the goal when you add them is to create ambiance, to create a little bit of atmosphere, a little bit of... Can I fix this camera? Create a little bit of space, ambiance, thickness. But what he said I had never heard before is that when you do that, what it actually tends to do is take the part you're putting it on and it pushes it to the back of the room. It's still in the same spot, but with the effects on it, it feels like it's pushed backwards. And I think this is a clear example of that. She sounds great, but she sounds like she's singing from the back of an auditorium or the back of a large room. And it's that effect that's making that happen. So I think what he suggested was don't use reverb, use a really quick delay. An extremely, extremely tight delay. I can't remember if it's like 10 milliseconds or 7 or 12 or something like that. But a really small delay with no repeats behind it. And you get a little bit of that widening effect. You get a little bit of that spaciousness, but it keeps the vocal in front instead of pushing it back. Because you gotta think naturally, sorry for going off the deep end, but might as well talk about it if we know about it. When you're talking about things like an echo happens when sound travels and bounces off of things, right? Reverb is basically kind of the same thing, except for reverb is more, I would assume, room-based. Like how long is the room? How wide is the room? What are the materials in the room? Is it metal? Is it wood? And then the sound is now reflecting off of that over those distances. I would say an echo is more a focused repetition. Very similar. And then a delay, to me, a delay is very controlled. You could make each delay sound exactly the same, whereas a delay in a room will be influenced by how the room sounds. So I think that's why if you use a delay at a short setting, you get just super clarity without the muddiness. And my go-to example of this, and bear with me, because I think it's easy to follow. It's just I gotta talk about my own life. When I was in chorus for school, where you had to pick an ensemble. Since I was in guitar, we didn't have guitar in the orchestra, so I had to do a large ensemble chorus. I don't know, 100, 140 singers, depending on the semester. And then of course you have to do performances, and if you get sponsored to go not me, if the group gets sponsored to go somewhere, you go do that, or you get a crazy opportunity. So we got an opportunity to go perform in a very amazing church, like a historic, awesome church. But this church was huge. And so one thing we did in our rehearsals is our conductor, Mito Sandaya, who's no longer with the university, she's somewhere else now. We were performing the way we would perform in practice, a rehearsal. And then she had to cut us off, and she said, hey, what I'm listening for, because she's, way in front of us. And she goes, what I'm listening for is what I hear. And that's always what I'm judging, right? But when we're in a controlled space, it's pretty uniform. But now that we're in this long space, I'm hearing you guys singing. I'm hearing it bouncing off the walls and bouncing off the back. So what I have to do is listen to your phrases, and then we're gonna make notes on which phrases to either cut off quickly or other phrases where come in a little bit, I don't even say late. But if what you just said is reflecting off the back of the wall and coming back through you, that means everyone in the audience is hearing the reflection and they're hearing your new line. And especially when you're changing chords or changing keys, those two sounds just don't belong together. So just because that's what happens in a performance hall, the same thing happens in the studio if you turn your effects up to create the illusion of a long hall. If you're going to create the illusion of a long hall, now you have to perform as if you're in a long hall, which is really counterintuitive when you're in a small room. So I love this song. I love the performance, but the effects kind of made her feel like she's underwater or in the very back of a room. Now, the thing that's weird about saying she's in the back of the room is if she was in the back of the room, she wouldn't be loud, right? So there's a certain loudness that doesn't match how far back she sounds. Anyways, it's just what's up. That's what's up. Great song though.